Hey guys, happy Friday. Today we're going to do an in and out for 2026. I don't know. I on a personal level, I subscribe to the Asian belief that the new year starts in February. That does make more sense. I'm looking outside. Everything is covered in ice. Everything is covered in ice right now. Not like thick ice, but it's like everything is frosted over. So, yeah, these are what I feel are going to be the ins and outs for next year. So just to help get you ready, because as I said in my last video, like I really truly feel, I and many other people, are really fucking jazzed for the 2026 year. It's a fire horse year. It's like a 1 year in numerology. It's really exciting times. So anyway, what's out? So in terms of outs, it's like what is going to be left in 2025? I think it's going to be narcissists to start with. I guess narcissism in general. We're just done. We're just done. What I really liked about 2025, man, my fucking face hurts. Oh my god, I need painkillers. Okay, narcissism is done. I don't know if you guys have been keeping track, but the thing with Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively and like her friends, text messages are being released, through the courts, and it's astonishing. It's astonishing. So people like Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds, they're never going to work again. People are absolutely 1000% done with that. And I think people in their own lives are done with that too. There's a lot of people online that are, saying like, hey, I've cut contact with my mom, or, with my mother-in-law, or, both my parents or all of my family. And I feel like 2026, like that is going to be the normal thing. Like people are not going to be weighed down by people who make them feel less than, make them feel crazy, make them waste their time and energy on someone else's dramas and just these problems that they create for themselves, right? Like, that's the thing about narcissists. It's always like, you did that to yourself, dude. Like, why did you have to go out of your way to make an enemy? Why couldn't you just have been happy to, have a job, have that job, be offered that opportunity? Like, why couldn't, it's like, we're done. We don't have the time, energy, money, anything to deal with people who are just constantly causing problems, lying all the damn time for no fucking reason. So yeah, what's in for 2026 is the opposite: chasing or just choosing peace. We're not chasing peace, we're choosing peace. It's very important that, starting now, or at least in 2026, like, you find your people, you find your person, you find your people. And I guess that means that you have to start with yourself. You got to be the best version of yourself. You got to be a happy version of yourself. You got to be a version of yourself that is happy with itself, right? Like, you have to love yourself first before anybody else can love you, because how are you going to believe them when they say I love you if you don't even love yourself? You know what I mean? Next thing that's out is social media. Social media is done. Like, and right, we already have the dead internet theory. I've seen an essay or two on that. The internet is basically just bots and spam. AI slop, like social media is done. So that's cool. That's cool. What's in is skills. You gotta have skills, okay? There's just no, and I guess social media, that includes video games. Like, it is not a skill, guys. It is not a skill to be the best at, you know, these shooter games. Like, that's not a skill. You'd be better off buying a real gun or even like a pellet gun and, you know, taking out moles in your neighbor's yard or something. Like, real life tangible skills are where it's going to be at in 2026. If you want, especially if you're a guy, if you want to be of value, you need to be able to chop wood, use a chainsaw, change oil at the very least on a car. I don't know, like, there's just so much stuff. There's so much stuff. You can, whatever way your brain is programmed, you need to go down that path, all right? Like I said, if you like wood, go with wood. If you like cars, go with cars. You need to use your physical nature as a guy, and I guess your mental, right, to make yourself useful in the real world. The social media, the video game universe is not, these are not real places, okay? They're dead. They're dead, actually. Next thing that's out for 2025 or 2026 is quantity. We are done. Like, minimalism, it's not that that is the answer, but it's like, we're just not gonna do, like, millennials and everyone under. We're not gonna do what our parents did and like our older siblings, of like just acquiring stuff, just shopping just to shopping like it's a hobby. Like, there's no more just acquiring shit. Shopping is has to be a very purposeful thing. So what's in for 2026 is quality. And I'm talking for everything. I'm talking for soap, chapstick, purses, food, like everything. You can get handmade stuff from somebody very close to you for not that much money, not much more than like what you would pay from the grocery store, all right? Like, the grocery store stuff is very expensive now. There are no deals to be had. And, you know, that said, making stuff like bread is easy. Like, my tooth hurts because I got an implant. So I just been boiling chicken and drinking chicken broth. So good. So good. Like, better than anything I could get in one of those weird wax containers. And it's just chicken and water and salt. Like, instead of having all this weird shit in it and preservatives and being, again, in this wax container for God knows how long, I'm just boiling a chicken. You know, it's easy. So things like bread makers, crock pots, stuff like that, like, adopt those in your life to, bring quality into your life. And on that, what's out is mass manufactured shit. It's the same thing. Like, we're not buying bread anymore. We're making it, or we're buying it from the lady down the street, right? Like, there are so many people around us who are into making stuff. So just find them and, tell them, hey, I want to buy your bread. There's a lady in this neighborhood here who made a sourdough loaf for us. I'm not sure why. Oh yeah, because my boyfriend was taking care of her chickens while she went to Disneyland. What a loser. But she gave us this loaf of bread, sourdough. So fucking good. So good. So, you know, that said, we don't eat bread. But if we did, I would actually have him text her and be like, hey, can we buy a loaf of you off you? That said, what's out for 2026 is carbs and sugar. Like, they're already out because, as we've seen, the food pyramid is one, back, and two, inverted. So it is now public knowledge that carbs and sugar are not to be eaten. You know, it's not a lot, right? It's not like it was where it was like, yeah, the bulk of your diet is this. It's like, no, now it is public knowledge that bread and sugar are detrimental, and to be eaten sparingly. So I love that. And so what's in for 2026 is real protein, okay? Real protein, not lab made protein. Like, we need whole proteins. Even like whey, like, I don't trust whey. I feel like I had it once and it was like, I think it gave me an allergic reaction. Just drink milk. Just drink milk, right? There's raw milk is everywhere. Go to like rawmilk.net or something like that. You can find people who have raw milk all around you. If you have land, get a fucking goat, right? That's what we're doing. We're about to get 2 more. So we're going to have 3 does that we're going to milk, you know, as soon as we get them freshened and all that stuff. Next, what's out, kind of what I started off with, celebrities. Celebrities are done. Singers, actors, you know, everyone in between, they're done. Because they're just not of the caliber that they used to be. They just can't, right? Because social media actually killed the celebrity, right? The thing about celebrities back in the past, you know, besides being actually talented, there was a mystery of them, right? Marilyn Monroe was not on social media because it wasn't around. So now we know, you know, what they eat, what they look like, when they go to bed, like, and like in the case of Blake Lively and Taylor Swift, we know that they're fucking cunts, right? These bitches who are almost 40 years old act and process life like literal teenagers. And, you know, to some extent we knew that because it's kind of common knowledge that the age at which somebody becomes famous is kind of the age that they get trapped in. And like for both those bras, they were pretty young, right? So it's not surprising, but it's also very unbecoming to know how just teen mean girl they are. It's just, so I don't know. It's just, they're out. Thank God, right? They're not even very talented people, again, in general. And what's in for 2026 is philosophers and economists. I love, well, I just learned about this guy named Montaigne, Montaign, I believe. Amazing guy. This other guy, so I can't remember his name, but I think his last name was George, so good luck finding him. But Georgian economics or something like that. Like he basically, in short, was like, we need to tax undeveloped land. Don't tax developed land. We need to be taxing undeveloped land. Like the people who own undeveloped land, they need to be paying taxes on that undeveloped land. There's a guy named Mitch Wexler, Vexler. I'm not really sure what he is. He's kind of like a lawyerish kind of real estate guy, but so not a philosopher, not an economist, but you know, we need to put people who think in places of authority and popularity, right? So yeah, look into Mitch. He's amazing. He's really gonna change 2026 with the help of other people, because the way things are, you know, with properties being overvalued and taxes being, you know, accordingly inflated. He's got simple, like, fixing that to save America, you know, the average American, whether they own a home or not, a lot of money, right? We need to, he says we need to tax everything. Like, sales tax needs to be a standard 25% across the board for everything, in place of property taxes. So anyway, look into that. Mitch Wexler, amazing guy. And again, that Montaigne guy, really, really cool stuff. If you want to just listen to somebody who was really, really ahead of their time, and just a great example of how to think and conduct yourself in society, look up Montaigne. Also, what's out is AI. AI is, you know, whether you're going to use it to not get left behind, or just to, in general, just to make, like, your life easier, whatever, but, like, in general, it's out because people do not want to consume AI slop. It's not fun to watch a video that's funny or amazing or whatever, entertaining, and then go to the comments and be like, and seeing that it's, everybody's like calling it out for what it is, which is not real. It's AI. It's not fun. So what's in for 2026 is immediately checking the comments, but I guess more importantly, the description box. I think you have, if it's something as AI, you have to, like, check a box on, like, even when I upload these videos, it asks, is any part of this video, you know, does it contain AI? So I don't think you can bypass that question. Maybe you can, I'm not sure. But always check, get into the habit of checking the description box and the comments, just to make sure that what you're watching is real. Okay, do not listen to, because, you know, right, everybody's voice and likeness is being, for lack of a better word, parodied by the AI. And they're making, you know, people who are, like, even dead, Alan Watts, they're making him say these ridiculous top 10 lists of bullshit that he didn't say, that he would have never said. And it's just fucking horseshit. I hate AI for that. What's out for 2026 is spending money frivolously. No more buying something just because it's cute. No more buying something because it's cheap. No more buying something because everybody else has it and is buying it. Like, we're not doing that. We're saving money, and or we're consciously purchasing things that are going to enrich our life, if not just enable us to make money, right? Like I was saying, guys need to have skills. You know, if you're like, man, I think I want to chop wood, right? Go buy a nice axe, go buy a nice chainsaw, right? But don't buy little shit anymore that just is bullshit. And that includes, you know, eating out and, you know, stupid shit like buying skins on a video game. Absolutely not. Okay, if you're addicted to video games and you're like, you know what, Wendy, like, I'm sorry, but like that, I've been playing video games with these dudes for years, and you know, it's free. I don't pay for anything. I just do it an hour max, you know, at the end of most days. Okay, fine, whatever. But again, do not spend any money on that. No gambling, no stupid shit. Do not buy stupid shit. Money is a form of energy. Don't waste your energy on stupid plastic shit that is just not, again, going to do anything for you but clutter your life and be thrown away, quite honestly, in less than a year. Next thing that's out is hobbies. No more collecting hobbies. We're not doing that. What's in is a passion, all right? If you are passionate about something, go into that thing, but don't just collect hobbies, okay? I did that kind of. Luckily, it wasn't too many things, and a lot of the things are being kind of recycled. Like, for example, I was getting into resin. And so I bought these silicone molds to make coasters. And I made a couple coasters, but resin is one, very expensive, and two, you gotta have space, and you have to have a controlled environment, and it's kind of temperamental, right? So anyway, I didn't throw those molds away, and now I use those molds to make soap, like when I have a little bit left over that's not gonna, I can't otherwise do anything with, right? So that's cool, but yeah, like I personally will not be adopting any more new hobbies. I've already got sewing, I've got soap making, and basically that's kind of it, and I'm done with that. So I'm all in on sewing, I'm all in on soap making, and that's it, okay? So find your passion, stick with it, get good at it, find other people who are into that, start a community, monetize it, blah, 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 blah. Next thing that's out is buying new, okay? We are not buying new. We don't need to. America is dying. Like, I'm sorry, it is. Because the boomers are dying, and the boomers were the ones that had and have all the money. So, right, there are estate sales literally every day all around this country. Find them. There's auctionninja.net. There's all these websites, CT bids. I don't know. Like, just look up estate sales in your zip code and whatever search engine you use, and it'll give you a list of outfits that specialize in going to somebody's house who has recently passed or is going into like a nursing home and selling off all their shit. Besides that, there's Craigslist, there's eBay. Like, get good things that may or may not be used from people that paid full price for them, and literally pay a small percentage of what it was new. Again, estate sales, Craigslist, eBay. Like, for example, I'm actually meeting somebody at like 5-10 minutes down the road in 2 hours. They've got a bunch of mailers that they don't need. And I mail stuff all the time, so I'm gonna go pick them up. They were on Craigslist free. You know, like, I'm gonna save myself $60 or so because I went on Craigslist free this morning and saw that and wrote them and said, yeah, sure, I'll be there at 1. And they're like, cool, right on. Next thing that's out for 2026 is mourning. Okay, I know things are very sad. As I just said, America is dying. We also know Europe is dying. In general, the Western world is dying. And it is very sad. And it's very easy to blame the browns, the dark browns, the blacks, right? It's very easy because they are being shipped in. They are replacing the Germans, the Italians, the Swedes, the Americans. They're being replaced. Yeah, that's what needs to happen. If Mexicans didn't come in the 90s and 2000s, and I think the 80s too, the late 80s, America would not be a country today. Like, sorry. And this has happened many a time, okay, many a time, historically speaking. As a country gets richer, people have less kids, and they start delegating work to workers, right? All of a sudden, people don't mow their own lawn, they hire somebody to do it. All of a sudden, instead of having 8 kids, we're now having 2, if any. People get lazy, in short, and so people are then shipped in to help that aging population, because again, they're not having any kids, they're lazy and unfit. It just is what it is. Like, yeah, sure, it's very easy to scapegoat the browns and the blacks and the yellows, you know, the colors of the rainbow. It's very easy to hate the colors of the rainbow when you think of yourself as a pure race, but you know what? You're not. What your people did, what you think is happening to your people, you did to the natives, okay? I'm sorry, but before you, on whatever landmass you're on, you were not the original in 2025 and 2026. You are not the original people. There were people there before you. And you know what's funny is they were usually brown. So anyway, yeah, it's just in general though, it's like no more being sad, no more being mad. Like, what are you doing? Are you having kids? Are you spending your money wisely and your time wisely? Are you holding your local government and federal government, you know, to uphold the laws of your land and forefathers? A lot of people are not. A lot of people, you know, in this country especially, like, they don't give a shit about their local country, local politics. They don't know who their mayor is. They don't know who their governor is. They don't know anything. So if you don't even care about what's happening locally and you're not doing shit all about that, why are you even worried about what's happening federally, right? Like, it's a waste of fucking time to be sad and mad about the way things are going. It's like, hey, this has happened a billion times, okay? Again, as a predictive history, right? The guy is really on that shit right now. As a country gets richer, the people get fatter, lazier, and just basically lose touch with like physical reality. They become so obsessed with things like status and hierarchy and stuff like that. That is not good for, like, again, like the physical reality, living within the physical reality, even culture to some extent. And that said, next one, oh, so actually, so in place of mourning in 2026, there is acceptance, okay? There is acceptance that, yes, things are changing. Things are changing. There's nothing you can do about it. Except, you know, if you really, really care, finding a mate that has the same skin color as you, or lighter, I guess, and having babies with them. Just having babies and trying to do something about it. You know, if you want, you can boycott gas stations that are not manned by Indian people. Oh, wait, you can't. There's none. There's no gas stations that are not owned by Indian people. So what are you going to do? Are you going to start your own gas station? Are you going to buy an electric car? Are you going to turn your car into a car that runs off of like a combination of, you know, cooking oil and stuff like that? What are you doing? Like, accept what's happening and move on, okay? No more being sad, no more being mad, no more of this mourning bullshit. Yes, it's kind of sad. I love white people. I love white culture. I love the civility of white people. I love lines. I love law and order. But, you know, you guys have dropped the ball for way too long. You've been lazy. You've been drug-addled. You've been in party mode since the goddamn 70s. Like, you let, you know, JFK be shot. You let 9/11 happen. Nobody's been held to any sort of, you know, degree of justice. So why are we surprised we're at where we're at, okay? So yeah, that's the next thing, I guess, is depression is out. There is no more sadness. There is no more sadness. There are only solutions. And I've already gotten into that. Next thing is, what's out is staying inside, okay? Like I said, the internet is dead. The internet is dead. The internet's not even a real place. So between those two aspects, there's only outside. Get your ass outside. Get your fucking ass outside, okay? It starts with, it can start with the internet. Like I said, I use Craigslist all the time. I meet people all the time. I get free shit all the time. And it's amazing. So whatever you got to do to get yourself out needs to happen. Get outside, get outside, get your ass outside. Even if it's just to exercise, whatever. Get your fucking ass outside. So what's also out is drugs and alcohol, okay? Drugs and alcohol are done, okay? If you really care about your country, if you really care about yourself, you will be basically sober, okay? This household is basically a sober household. We drink maybe once or twice a year now. My boyfriend's been sober since, and he's an ENFP. He's been sober since Thanksgiving. In general, I just don't drink. It's never agreed with me. I'm basically allergic. It's always made my nose itch. So I just, whatever. But I do like, tequila. When my mom goes to Mexico, she brings me a bottle. But just in general, like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not getting drunk. We're not spending the money on alcohol. We're just not going down that route in terms of using alcohol as a way to, I don't know, celebrate, or pass time even, or just end the day. Like, it's just, we're not doing that anymore. Drugs and alcohol are very, very expensive, all right? That's what DARE stands for. Drugs are really expensive. So we're not doing that anymore. If you want to drink like kombucha and get like a light little buzz, cool. Make your own kombucha. Get a SCOBY off the internet and make it and keep it in your house and feed it and just, drink homemade kombucha. Get that little 0.5 buzz. Okay, right? Eat some mushrooms every now and then. That's good for the mind. But in general, we're just not doing like what the boomers did, where it was like, hey, we're going out to the bar 2-3 times a week, spending $100-$200 on food and on bad food and drinks, and making bad decisions after that. We're not doing that anymore. It is so outdated to spend mass amounts of money on drugs and alcohol. So yeah, sobriety and just very conscientious, partaking in libations and such, that is okay. But anything other than that it's just kind of embarrassing. And I guess that's the last thing. The last thing I'm going to say is culture. Culture is, again, because right now, if you want to be obsessed with culture, right, like Nick Fuentes, saving white culture, even though he's not even white. Oh my God, so embarrassing. You're going to look like a fucking fool. Okay, you're going to look like a fucking fool, because what are you doing? This kid right here, right, he's so obsessed with saving white culture, but it's like, you're a virgin, you have no woman, you have no children. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing to really actually help it along? You're estranging young males by holding them hostage on the internet, right? I think he'll live stream for hours at a time. It's like, you're holding these boys back. Like, they're watching you for hours and hours and hours, instead of being outside, gaining skills, meeting good women, making themselves men. Instead, they're gooning off to your whatever. It's just a waste of time, okay? Moderation is key. Quality is key. And unfortunately, right, you really got to look at who you're listening to. Of course, right, he has some good points. But after a while, it's like, okay, like, are we gonna do anything about it? Are you ever gonna fucking lose your V card, you loser? Like, what are you doing? What are you fucking doing? But, that's neither here or there, okay? Your quality of life, all right? What's out is culture. What's in is your quality of life, all right? You need to find, this is how I started it, you need to find the people who are meant to be in your life. You are meant to be around people who make you feel good about yourself, who make you a better person, you know, with time and through their influence. Stop being around people who are just negative Nellies, sad Samuels, depressed Dans. Like, no more like stuckedness. You need to stay in motion, because as soon as you start that motion, you will stay in motion and it'll be amazing. Like, I've noticed so many fucking times that, like, when I just start doing stuff, things start to happen. And it's kind of annoying sometimes, because it's like, you know, all of a sudden I'll start doing something and then all of these things start to happen all at once. And it's like, oh my God, I went from literally nothing happening to now I got 3 to 6 things that all need to happen now. And it's just, you know, it's a lesson though for me, a repeated lesson that I have to encounter, that says, hey, if you just keep doing shit, even if it's like just keeping your house clean, right? Like, that's going to make it so much easier to say yes when somebody says, hey, can I come over? You know, you'll be like, yeah, you can come over. My house is clean, right? Yeah, I don't know. It's just stay ready so you don't got to get ready, okay? Make a culture of yourself something that you can be proud of to present at any given moment. And that's all I got to say. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please take care of yourself. Brush your teeth, floss your teeth, and just make good decisions, okay? Happy 2020, end of 2025. I hope to see you guys in 2026. Bye.